matters no still in the Ashanti region kayenim say Ashanti memu de ye borura ho a osoafo ehonum nyina hye ne nsa no Dr. Frank Amoakohene in the wake of event where chaos SC ewo Afari hospital anase Kumasi military hospital no enka ye hwe se o ye better say regional minister ababonten abeka bibia na se nanso for all you know no regional minister nankasa na so aye papa chen ye ayewo Ghana krodwem ha. Now this is the reason why regional minister na so aye san say say am no ka say the petition akwa top President John Dramani Mahama ne punu say kim efa regional minister yi ehom. So on your screens you see two Ghanaians petition Mahama over alleged sexually offensive remarks by Frank Amoakohene. Enti echiremu Ghana fo mienu a omoye ma ena omotebri pen ne paper atworo krata de akoma President John Dramani Mahama petition ne say Dr. Frank Amoakohene a woye Ashanti regional minister no wakwagi kansem bi asebe egu oba pani bi hu fi e wo Ghana krodwem ante wo sempanimfo etimi ye bribi de efa ho. Now we're going to delve so much into this issue ebrepote ben na Dr. Frank Amoakohene kwaka asasem we onipa ben na Frank Amoakohene ekoka ne ho asem anti no se aye bubruja ama yetebri krata de akwa President John Dramani Mahama. How is it going to affect any ministerial position of Ukraine nyina and nne de keka ho na otimu say amanfo chiremu a as say MPs ni ministers a wo mo serve under the Mahama administration no da bia ne asemo a eba. Now on your screens you see two Ghanaians petition Mahama over alleged sexual offensive remarks by Frank Amoakohene. Enti say the edi kan boss no sa pepepe na etie ne say Ghana former mienu bi no masi o madwen pi say Frank Amoakohene waye niema bi a ense emfata enti o say President John Dramani Mahama etimi twe na so. Now see two Ghanaian citizens Barbara Chum and Jennifer Owusu have petitioned President John Dramani Mahama over allegations that the Ashanti regional minister, Dr. Frank Amoakohene, made sexually offensive and misogynistic remarks directed at former National Youth Authority Deputy Chief Executive Akosia Menu. Enti na chese omu kiremu a mam yenu omu di Barbara Chum ene Jennifer Chum ena omu de krata akoma mampani say Ashanti regional minister Frank Amoakohene wakeka nsem bia efa sebe sexual efa oba ho a ensese nko ye den wakam edefa the former Youth Authority Deputy Chief Executive Officer Akosia Menu ehum. Now, see the petitioners are calling for disciplinary actions, which they say could include a formal reprimand or dismissal from office. In they say party, they more pay our Moshe Kwan say President John Dramani Mahama Bayen and they said Frank Amoakohene ni dibra wokra. Say regional minister no yen free nsem anase yen twe na so e won nsem a waka yen no ehun na ze no as a MPs for no any ministers are President John Dramani Mahama assign your money no one way or the other, and most of them are landing into trouble and people are calling for their sack. Now no other na Lindo Klo, the regional minister for Greater Accra, and they are transcending Ababe Drew the Ashanti regional minister eso. Now see in a petition dated June 9th 2026 and submitted to the Executive Secretary of Jubilee House, the petitioners urged the president to invoke Section C of the Presidential Code of Conduct and Ethics 2025 to investigate and act on what they describe as a serious breach of ministerial standards. Entina is krata no enrada enwomo edefa the secretary, the executive secretary of Jubilee House eso. Say enko President John Dramani Mahama so na wonjina section 6 of mampanif or code of conduct omudi adwuma no na entimi enye nhwehwemu emfa Frank Amoakohene ensema omode bono no ehom na afen so no se wabu ne dwumadie na wodi wabu mbra no so no womo entwe na so was akwan no so now say the petition concerns serious breaches of Presidential Code of Ethics and Ethics 2025 by Dr. Frank Amoakohene arising from sexual offensive and misogynistic remarks published on social media the document states into omu chemwa ensem no nso enye se bia okotena radio super no what the social media ena wode ekwochocho saa ensem we a omu hu ni se egu maame akosua menu ne hu fin wo se ankasebe oswafo etimi etrocho ensem bia etisa na ensem pote ben ena Dr. Franka Mwakohene ekokan yo say at the center of the complaint is an alleged Facebook post attributed to the minister which the petition quotes as akosua kuma Wokondo ana. You want to have a taste of it? Intinache say, we yusu, I mean, oko chimemu anasa Ashanti eka kosye kuma we are ye oba sebe ne special parta one hono enti se ude omame akosya menu din ade ye rough like what all kind of things omuchemu a na say it's more demeaning to the personality of mame akosya menu as a woman enti was a president etimi etwe Dr. Franka Mwakohene aso was kwan no so now see according to the petitioners the statement was sexually explicit, vulgar and gender demeaning and was directed as Miss Menu enti so chemwa ensem no yusu ye no enya asem a nke wo so kakra sebe asem a epiefu anum kra na nkranhye nim enhye chese enhye nyamedie nimunyam enti wo ka ne sa so a na wa ma Melidia akosha Menu wa ma nanim aba fem kra enti wo se asotwe wo ho ne de ma no now say they further argue that the language amounts to sexual harassment and is incompatible with the dignity expected of a public official, describing it as a deliberate, crude and sexually suggestive reference that cannot be interpreted in any benign content. Into Ochemwa then some more kind no some way somehow no sexual harassment and afin so no senka obi kra beka na nyo obi ti se Dr. Franka Mwakohene a wo ye pani a se be okra dibre enimonyam ewo mu sei ene oba be keka sansem wenti nsem we de enye kra se ebefri ni ho about the petitioners also contend that the conduct violates multiple provisions of the code including requirement on civility, dignity, professionalism and the obligation of public officials to treat all citizens with respect, particularly women. Enti uye obi a ukra debre ewa memmo we mu ana ben mu ana won say ensem bi wo hono ma sebe udibre a ukra ninti no enya de a obetimi aba abonten abeka ne tra sa keke and to think that when nipa we so timi comport we are civilized what you say enya nkwa na sebe obetimi agina abonten ebiebie wenu makeka kansem bi na adwuma na wo ye ne we say we some professionalism bi bata ho just to come out and say anything na obuo bi anim na ase wo de oba animu ye form de yes so a enye ye now say the phrase you want to have a taste of it is a direct sexual solicitation. This constitutes sexual harassment, the petition states, adding that it creates an environment of fear, hostility, and degradation for women. Beyond internal ethic rules, the petition also cites constitutional principles, arguing that the alleged conduct undermines equality protections and the state's obligation to promote women's participation in national development. Ninsem no de ade a egu akosua Menu ni hufia enwo se anka eba ne sa enu nti no mo pese President John Dramani Mahama otimi Dr. Franka Mwakohene efri ne position as the regional minister isanse nsem a wakokeka no nsem bia sebe enhye nkran na as a whole regional minister utumi koka bibi say ne de according to Barbara Chum any Jennifer ne de omuhu ni say this is very demeaning to the dignity of Mame Akosia Menu, because Obeba Bonteno Abetro Sansem we Abekika Sansem we are enya de share in crying. And to think that this is coming in a time like this where some of the MPs and some of the ministers Omudi has already been started being dragged on the internet. Modern born shame crying yense some more yenye reshuffling. Any idea all this is coming up na Dr. Frank Amwakohene onunsu din abetomu bieno na eya hajuni. People have started questioning the President John Dramani Mahama administration, because that no other who say the Greater Accra Regional Minister said him di kankan Emmanuel Ndoklo yeso akwaji award bi onu asan bone ho nsamrane se wa ye adwuma ni adade. And now the Ashanti Regional Minister in question onunsu eho abebon eye ensem webi. So right now the question is, you ask what is happening to these ministers. Edena etomo edena ekoso and ebisu trema and semwa Dr. Frank Amwakohene ekanye no enye nsem bi e kire so bruso a sebe ye wo se the petition ekoma president so onyi nim free in position as the regional minister for the Ashanti region. Maybe umetimi ahwehwemu ehu the intentions behind it and all that, but all this back and forth idea ehu ensheda ehia. Well, we are still following keenly na yahwe bia nsemu ebeko akwakodrum. Now yebora